Good guy, that Mike Garafolo. Here's Mike Garafolo from the NFL Network. Mike, the Browns must have really liked what they saw from Dillon Gabriel last week, because they're moving on from Joe Flacco and they're sending him to a team within their division. So for the Bengals, why Flacco and why now?
Well, Jay, because you need somebody who's going to be a quick study, and Joe Flacco just showed it a couple of years ago for a team in the AFC North that plays in Ohio, that wears orange. I mean, we just saw it. And at this point of the season, I saw some people today saying, well, this is a guy who's been benched twice in the last 2 years. Yeah, there's not a lot of great options in season. One of the other ones was Russell Wilson. He just got benched. One of the other ones besides him was Kirk Cousins. He just got benched last year. Now, Cousins was way too much money. I never thought that was feasible. It was really a question of, was it going to be Russ or somebody else? My understanding is the Bengals never showed an interest in Russell Wilson and never had a conversation with him, or with the Giants about him, I should say. So that takes us to Flacco. He's a lot cheaper than Cousins. The fifth-round pick that you're giving up, and the exchange, if you give up a fifth just by itself, I've done the numbers on this, Jay, it's a coin toss whether that player, that rookie, is even going to make your roster coming out of training camp. So for the Bengals to give that up, to say it could save our season, Joe Flacco at some point, and it may not be immediately, but Joe Flacco at some point may come in just like he did for the Browns a couple of years ago and hold us in the playoff race long enough for Joe Burrow to come back. Now, it's going to take some work here, but this is a guy that can get the ball to Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. That's what they're looking for right now. He's not afraid to throw the football downfield. The other thing, and I heard this when I was in training camp covering the Browns this year, I spoke to someone there who said there's literally nothing you can throw at Joe Flacco from an offensive standpoint that he hasn't already seen. This is his 7th team over his NFL career, a number of systems that he's played in. So that's the kind of guy that can get caught up as quickly as possible. Look, again, it's not the greatest option right now, but for the Bengals, who really thought Jake Browning was going to play better than he did, you got to do something. And I can understand why they would look to Flacco and say, maybe this is the best bet for us and the best fit for us right now. We shall see.
Let's go from the AFC North to the AFC South, because, Mike, I am fascinated by this division. All 4 teams won over the past weekend. All the prognosticators predicted, the Colts and Jags are leading the division at 4-1. I don't know, all jokes aside, anyone who thought the division would look this good going into week 6 of this NFL season. But can these 4 teams keep it going all season?
I'm going to talk about the Texans right off the bat, because I'm not ruling them out either. This is a team that we thought was going to be at the top of the division. They've got some work to do to get back into it. But when we look at the Colts and the Jaguars, we say, can they really hold this pace? And the Jaguars still have 2 tough games coming up in the next 2 weeks that could knock them back a little bit. Daniel Jones, frankly, has been a revelation. Shane Steichen and the offensive coaches in Indianapolis have done a great job getting him going. I think the real key there, though, is Lou Anarumo, the defensive coordinator, has done a great job. I still don't know why the Bengals fired him, but I think it was the best possible thing for Lou Anarumo, because there was not a lot of talent in Cincinnati. We've seen where that team is right now from a defensive standpoint. So this is really, I thought about this today. I was like, wow, how about this division? Actually one of the better races here, and I think it's going to be tight all the way through. Again, I'm not ruling out Houston, and who knows, along the way, Tennessee could play spoiler, knocking off one of these teams, just like they knocked off the Cardinals last week, to really upset this playoff race down the stretch. I think it's a fascinating division with a lot of great storylines. There is a lot of talent on that Jaguars team. I don't think they really even tapped into it, to be honest with you. So I just find this whole division extremely fascinating, and if Houston comes in and makes it a three-team race again, going to be that much more entertaining.
And then let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl champions, 4-1 to start this season. They lose a tough one over the weekend. And yet their offensive stars got together and held a meeting because they're trying to fix some of those offensive problems that certain star players are tweeting about. Is the sky really falling in Philadelphia, Mike?
Just ask the people there, and they'll say our Super Bowl winning team is, well, previously was undefeated, but now they're 4-1. But they look terrible. I mean, that's been the refrain down there. That's been the reaction from the fan base. The conversation is great. Got to take it to the playing field. And A.J. Brown's a big part of this, because the way that he had that one route when Jalen Hurts was looking for him down the field and he stopped his route, was talking to people down there. They said the air really came out of the offense at that point in the game against the Broncos because that's everything he had wanted. Get me down the field. Give me a chance to make a play. It happened there, and he stops his route. So now you've got to really try to reset here on a short week against the Giants. I will be covering that game for NFL Network. I'll be there at MetLife Stadium. Here's what I'm expecting. I think this is the game A.J. Brown goes off. And the reason I say that is if the Eagles can just protect and stop the Giants' defensive front, the Giants will probably show them more man coverage, more one-on-one looks than they have seen from teams who have played a lot of zone coverage, which seems to give Jalen Hurts more trouble. There's going to be opportunities for him to throw these one-on-one balls to A.J. Brown that he sort of started to do against the Rams and the Buccaneers at times. And I think they'll connect on him this time. I just feel like on a short week, there's less time to overanalyze things from a game plan perspective. Go back to what you're comfortable with. Get your players on the same page like they're trying to do with this conversation. And play against a team that you know well, you've played well against a lot lately. I feel like this is a get-right game for the Eagles in this case. And guess what? If it is, the good news is you see the Eagles again in 2 weeks. 2 games against them in 3 weeks coming up here.
Okay, and I love the fact that you're covering this game, Mike, and that it's so close to home for you because I like the commute to be convenient for you, Mike.
Yes. You and my mother, Jay, you have the same perspective on these things. She'll be happy to hear you said that.